Hey everyone, Pastor David. We're working through a series in the book of Psalms, and today we are in Psalm 31. And to really understand Psalm 31, we have to start with the story behind it. And the story behind it, this is so interesting, was from 1 Samuel chapter 23. David and his 600 men are on the run from King Saul, and while they're hiding, David learned that the Philistine raiders were attacking the town of Keilah. They were stealing grain right off their threshing floors. And even though David was a hunted man, he gathered up his men, his courage. He goes down to this city, fights this battle for them, and saves the town. Now, let me know if this sounds familiar. Instead of honor from this city, David got treachery. King Saul hears about what's going on in this city and how they're trapped. The men are trapped because that city is a walled city with bars and just a very tough to get out of, like one way in, one way out. And so Saul comes, marches his army, and starts laying siege on this city. And David asks God if the people he just helped save in Keilah, would they hand him over to Saul? Are they going to give him up? And God gave him a very hard truth, and he says, they will. They will. David's forced to run back into the woods, the dusty wilderness of Ziph, and he's hiding in caves in these rocky clefts, and he's praying out to God. Psalm 31 is that prayer. It's this raw prayer of a man who did the right thing. He got betrayed for it and had to process his pain with God. David is in a situation I think many of us are in. Let's read it and see if maybe we're praying something like he's praying. So here we go. Psalm 31. In you, O Lord, I have taken refuge. Let me never be ashamed. In your righteousness, deliver me. Incline your ear to hear me, to deliver me. Be to me a rock of strength, a stronghold to save me. For you are my rock and my fortress for your name's sake. You will lead me and guide me. You will pull me out of the net, which they have secretly laid for me. Into your hand I commit my spirit. You have ransomed me, O Lord, God of truth. I hate those who regard vain idols, but I trust in the Lord. I will rejoice and be glad in your loving kindness, because you have seen my affliction. You have known the troubles of my soul, and you have not given me over into the hand of the enemy. You have set my feet in a large place. Let's get into that part first. The key takeaways in these first 8 verses, because knowing the backstory is super important. It doesn't say it right out, but you know what he's talking about. If you know what this chapter is all about, what people say it's all about. Saul thought David was trapped because the city had these double gates and these bars. They felt safe. They felt like these walls were protection. And what happened was that protection ended up being the very reason they couldn't escape. Human strongholds often become the traps in our life. The very things that we think protect us, the things that we have to protect us from the enemy, are what are actually our own cages we create in our life that we are in. Imagine they're caught in this flood that's coming, like a dam breaks, so there's just a huge rain, and this flood is coming, and so they're not sure what to do. They see it, and so they hide inside of a shed, inside of a little building that they see right there where the flood's coming. Does the shed protect you? No, the flood's coming, and it's going to take out the shed just as if you were standing outside or inside. It doesn't matter. But just because you go inside of this room that you feel safe, this house that you feel safe, it's the very thing that's going to be taken as well as you would. The point being, you have to run to higher ground. You have to go to the higher bedrock. You have to go to the things God created for you that are actually safe. When David says, into your hands I commit my spirit, he is understanding that reality. He's handing over the outcome of what's going to happen here to God. Jesus prayed these exact words on the cross. Clinging to idols like human approval or financial control or whatever we want that says, this makes me safe, those will lead you into trouble. Putting your life into God's hands, it says, I want you to control the outcome that's about to happen. That is changing our perspective. That is understanding what real safety is in our world. All right, let's continue. Verse 9. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am in distress. My eye is wasted away from grief, my soul and my body also. For my life is spent with sorrow, and my years with sighing. My strength has failed because of my iniquity, and my body has wasted away because of all my adversaries. I have become a reproach, especially to my neighbors, and an object of dread to my acquaintances. Those who see me in the street flee from me. I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel, for I have heard the slander of many. Terror is on every side. While they took counsel together against me, they schemed to take away my life. Some key takeaways in this second section. David doesn't pretend he's bulletproof. He doesn't pretend the problem's not there. The mental and physical toll of running from Saul, pairing with the sting of betrayal, left him exhausted and grieving. I helped these people, and now look at what they're doing to me. They have forgotten about me. Think of it like if you, back in the day, in this time period, if you broke a clay jar, they didn't try and put it back together. I know that like in China or Japan, wherever they do this, there's a new trend of putting jars back together or anything broken back together, and it's stronger than it was before. And I've used that analogy. It's a great analogy for what Jesus does to our life. But back in the day, they didn't have glue like that. They would just sweep it out into the street and it would become part of the street. You couldn't replace, you couldn't fix 20 sharp pieces broken. And nobody tried to glue that back together. They swept the shards out into the street and they forgot about it. They moved on. I think that's what David is writing here. I feel like everything I do, I continue to do. I continue to be good. I continue to help people. And the same reality is happening over and over. I got Saul chasing me. I got people betraying me. My own kids betray me. So that's why I said at the beginning, does this sound familiar? Real faith does not mean put on a fake smile and pretend there's no problems in this world. Scriptural faith means taking the shattered pieces of your health, your grief, your broken relationships, and put them back into the master potter's hands. He's the only one that can take that clay and reshape it, move it back to what it was supposed to be, or at least shape it into a new thing that God, only God, can create. Let's go on, verses 14 through 18. But as for me, I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from those who persecute me. Make your face to shine upon your servant. Save me in your loving kindness. Let me not be put to shame, O Lord, for I call upon you. Let the wicked be put to shame. Let them be silent in Sheol. Let the lying lips be mute, which speak arrogantly against the righteous with pride and contempt. Some key takeaways in this third section. So he's hiding in the woods. David doesn't know if he's going to see the next sunrise. Time probably feels like a ticking time bomb, just waiting for it to blow up, his life to blow up. Yet David makes this profound shift in verse 15 when he says, my times are in your hands. Most of our spiritual exhaustion comes from trying to manage God's calendar. God, I need healing. and I need it now. I need it by these dates. God, I need some answers. So I'm looking at God's calendar and saying, God, I need some answers by this time, by this date. I'm telling God the timeline. Or I need some vindication. I need you to step in. I need you to do this. We want to manage God. We seem to know what the creator of the universe should be doing in our life at all times. And David finally comes to the realization, as should we, you know what? I put it into your calendar. I put it into your timeline. I put it into your hands. Neither Saul's anger nor the treachery of Kaliah dictate David's lifespan. When we pray, my times are in your hands. We stop trying to force the clock and we trust the one who controls the chapters of our life, controls the days we have left, how much time we will get. He controls all of that, so we have to put it back into his hands and say, you're in control. You have control of my life. You know how much time I have. You know my calendar. So I work in yours, not mine. Let's finish verse 19. How great is your goodness, which you have stored up for those who fear you, which you have wrought with those who take refuge in you, before the sons of men. You hide them in the secret place of your presence from the conspiracies of men. You keep them secretly in a shelter from the strife of tongues. Blessed be the Lord, for he has made marvelous his loving kindness to me in a besieged city. As for me, I said in my alarm, I am cut off from before your eyes. Nevertheless, you heard the voice of my supplications when I cried to you. O Lord, the Lord, all you his godly ones, the Lord preserves the faithful and fully recompenses the proud doer. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who hope in the Lord. Some final takeaways. When David is trapped inside this city, he panicked and he thought, I am cut off from God's sight. But God was already making a way out that David could not see yet. It's like a parent preparing a meal for a child who's not home yet. As the child gets to the door and he's been out all day, starving, so hungry, just feeling down, has no idea that his parent has been completing this beautiful meal waiting on the other side of that door. But until he opens that door and walks into his father or mother's loving gift of this meal, they don't know. And we don't know. We don't understand what God may be doing just around the next corner, what God may be doing as we enter into that next room, what he's already preparing for us, what he's been doing the whole time. But we've been out and whatever, and we just didn't know. Panic says, God forgot me. Faith says, you haven't opened the door yet. But the feast has already been prepared. Answer these 3 questions in your life right now. Are you currently trying to shelter inside of a human structure that might be a trap? That's the first takeaway. We build up all these things that we think are going to be protection, and the reality is it could be our trap. So is there anything like that in your life where you think this is your protection and you need to move from that and say, God is my protection? Second thing to think about. What timeline or deadline in your life do you need to get back to God? God, this is the calendar I think you should have. God, this is the timeline that I need you to work in. We need to stop doing that and give it back to him and say, God, you probably know. You probably have a pretty good idea. You know how much life I have left. You know how many days I have. You know what's coming. So I put my calendar, I put my time back in your hands. Third thing to pray over right now. Where in your life do you need to stop panicking and just trust that God is preparing something that we don't even know in that next room, behind that door that we need to open? However you want, the analogy doesn't matter, but he's preparing something. So where do you in your life need to go, God is doing what God's going to do? I just need to step through that next door. Pause for a bit, take a moment to pray through that. Also, take a moment to subscribe and like as we continue to work through Psalms. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, which will be